So Ubre Blanca was a cow.
Ubre Blanca was a cow. E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah, that's a song. So Ubre Blanca was this crossbreeded genius work of Fidel Castro of Cuba fame. Do you know who Fidel Castro is?
Sounds very familiar.
Okay, so Cuba in the late 60s and early 50s was going through this big leadership change where they overthrew their dictator and they swapped over to this guy called Fidel Castro. He took over using the military to throw over this dictator, and he used socialism as this whole mantra, as like, okay, we're for the people, everything's going to be for the people's rights, but then ended up turning Cuba into this super like dictatorship. Fidel Castro, he died like I think within 10 years ago. But anyways, he controlled all of Cuba. That's all that matters. And what he needed to do was boost up the economy, right? Because Cuba is very small, and they needed something to trade to other countries. So he started beefing up the sugar industry and the dairy industry. And so he was experimenting with crossbreeding these cows. And he crossbreeded the normal dairy cow with like this Portuguese thing. I don't know. Regardless, he made this cow that produced 219 gallons of sweet cream every day. It's 4 times the amount that a normal cow does.
Fuck. That can't be healthy.
So this cow with massive jugs.
They
had it hooked up to a machine. I like to picture they had like one of those like like one of those like Futurama sort of like milking machines hooked up to the cow with like, and the cow has like 20 udders. And it's just sucking the sweet cream out. Because, like, imagine, like, 219 gallons of fucking milk.
It's a lot of babies.
It's a lot of milk. It has nothing to do with babies.
Well, they got big udders. It's a lot of babies to feed.
It does, yeah. Anyways, welcome back to Base Nostalgia. That's your base nostalgia moment.
And we're starting off with some good mommy milkers. Okay. Oh. Shit.
Jesus, people cannot drive in the Berkeley Hills. We're back in Berkeley.
We're back in Berkeley.
Boys back in town.
Yes, sir.
We are probably going to be driving to Alameda, I think. Alameda. That was the plan.
We didn't have a plan.
Yeah, we're just kind of driving around in this area. We like it. It's nice. The back streets are better for the audio. We're sorry for the audio issues, by the way. We're trying our best to get it better, but it's hard to figure out with driving and all. Mm-hmm. Anyway, speaking of cows, I had this buddy back in high school. We're gonna leave him nameless. We're not even gonna do any censorship because you guys are little
hornbats.
No, they're little Sherlocks, bro. They figure out everyone we talk about.
I know.
Maybe it's just because they know me, and they have figured out some of the people that we've talked about.
Yeah.
But we'll just leave him nameless. But one of our friends, you also have a story about him, but one time I was fucking around with him, and this is a different guy, but I grabbed his nipple, and I squeezed it real hard, like purple
hard
nipple.
Like?
Yeah, I squeezed it all hard, like, and he had juice come out. Okay, Gabe Censor, put it here.
Yeah, I know. You said not that guy.
Just don't. It's not the same person as the guy that you're about to talk about. Okay. But yeah, no. So I squeezed his nipple so hard that juice came out.
What?
And I didn't realize this, but like I still don't know what it is. But I heard them talk about this on like a different talk show, and they were talking about how like a very similar story happened to one of the friends. But we were just fucking around. I got over on top of him. I squeezed on him real hard. And just like Ubre, he milked for me.
Ooh, why did that happen?
I don't know.
Did he say, "Oh, juice just came out," or did you feel it?
It like actually like liquidated. He had 2 little wet spots on his shirt. It was like both nips. I got him good.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't realize this was a thing. Maybe it's a thing, and like I just didn't know that guys could like
lactate.
Yeah, they could shoot that milk out, but. Yeah, no, that totally happened. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, did you research what it is at all, or
no?
Mystery juice.
I think I was obligated there to like try it.
You tasted it?
I should have.
You should definitely.
I think if you squeeze your buddy's nip so hard that liquid comes out, you gotta try it.
That means he has an infection or something.
Right? Maybe it was like pus, or maybe he's just got big nips. I don't know. He do. Anyway, speaking of foreign juices.
Foreign juices.
Why don't you talk about a different guy? Gave you foreign juices.
The infamous pee story. Now, I don't know how often this happens to the ladies or the men's out there that like to suck sweet otter juice, but
like a juice box.
Yeah, one time I got peed in my mouth. Not one time, but thrice. And,
Same guy, right?
Yeah, that's not okay.
It's crazy that he did it for the 3-peat. Because it's like one time it's like, okay, that's kind of gross. Ew, bro. Mm-hmm. 2 times it's just like, okay, that's kind of funny. 3 times is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was, I hope it was unintentional, but who knows now? We have no idea. But, yeah, it was supposedly an accident, and I had a mouthful of piss, and I had to spit it out everywhere. I held it in my mouth for a second because I was really unsure of what this chemical-like substance, sweet juice in my mouth.
I gotta ask, what did it taste like?
So, basically, it tasted like a lot of chemicals, which is weird, and it tasted like pee. Like, it tasted like what you would think pee tastes like, but a little bit more chemically.
What is this person doing? You're driving so weird. Just keep on going.
And you just don't want to have that feeling. It's kind of sour, too.
Sour like Sour Patch Kids, or
no, sour like lemon.
Ugh.
Yeah, so
that's gross.
That's what pee tastes like. If y'all don't know.
Yeah, no, don't love that.
Yeah,
it's
no.
Gross.
Have you ever been peed on in? You've definitely been peed on.
I've never been peed in. I did try my own piss, but back when I was a young boy.
When you were a young boy?
when I was NBA young boy.
What was that?
Give me a dap up. Yeah, that was a weak dap. Yeah, don't put that one in the spreadsheet.
Well, why did you do that?
Okay, so it was like this big. So every Monday, all us homeschool
every Monday,
lads,
I drank my own piss and
yeah,
I gave it to the kids of the neighborhood.
Sold it off as lemonade for 50 cents. That's entrepreneurship.
Well,
that's
it is
America.
lemony.
That's Biden's America. Selling your own piss for 50 cents.
Fuck.
I don't like that.
No.
Fuck me. Bitch. Yeah, no. So every Monday, us homeschoolers would go out on a hike. And we'd do all these different various locations. And it was very cool, very fun. And I always had the question, could you drink your own piss? And back at the time, I was a big fan of like Bear Grylls. Did you ever watch the show where he would go out in like the wild and then try to survive?
No.
Okay, well, it came out that he was faking it the entire time. Essentially, he would just pick a random spot in the globe, right? Like some wilderness location. And then he'd have to survive there, right?
Yeah.
But the entire time, he had a camera crew with him. Mm-hmm. So it was like not really authentic. They bailed him out a bunch of times. The show was like criticized for like having some elements of like it wasn't like true because he was just saying like I'm doing this all by myself. He had like this Australian accent. I couldn't even do an impersonation. But anyways, so at one time he drank his own piss, which was so unnecessary, but he still did it. He was surviving like in the desert or some shit like that. I'll show you Bear Grylls. It's actually kind of good content. Anyways, regardless, I tried it with my boys. We all tried drinking our own piss, and it wasn't good that I can remember.
No.
But then again, neither cum doesn't taste good either. I mean, you probably have more experience with this. I mean, my own.
And what did that taste like?
I pride myself on having very good tasting cum.
Okay.
I eat healthy, and my shit don't taste like it fucking has radiation in it.
You eat healthy?
Yeah, I eat healthy. You don't see me eat healthy, but I do eat healthy. Whenever I'm out with you, we always go for like fast food, right? Because we're hunger bears and we need food fast. But I cook for myself a lot.
That's amazing. Yeah. It's really good.
Big salad boy. But yeah, what was the worst tasting cum that you've ever had?
I always compare cum to tasting like Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yuck.
Right?
Really?
It's disgusting.
That's like the average?
Yeah. I always compare it to that. I swear.
Ugh. Like battery acid?
The only thing I could say is it tastes like Polynesian sauce.
That's just it.
With like a little bit more like of a kick.
If you like regular sauce, you'll love Polynesian sauce.
Little kick.
A little kick.
Some
Spicy
tequila.
deluxe.
Yeah, it's like a spicy deluxe fucking Polynesian sauce all over your face.
So not good.
Bears. Yeah, no, not good.
Yeah, I do think that the blowjob 2 does need to be dropped. There's got to be something else that we do to just like get us boys off, you know? Because putting our pissers in mouths isn't
Not working.
It's not working.
Mm-mm.
There's too many bad stories. There's too many bad stories.
Too many bad bears.
Yeah, I guess. Anyways, I did want to talk about nipple piercings because I had a genuine question. I mean, I've had a few different friends and lady friends that have gotten them. How badly do they hurt?
Are you looking at me for an
Yes,
answer?
yes. I know that you
I
don't have them, but I'm sure
personally-
that you've had, women pain.
Well, it depends on your nipple sensitivity. My nipples are very sensitive. I've always wanted a nipple piercing, but I feel like I would cry like a bitch, and I've heard that you lose feeling in your nipples sometimes if you get your nipples pierced. I feel like, I just couldn't handle the pain of that because I have sensitive nipples, and I feel like it wouldn't feel good. Even if it was there, it would just kind of feel like an itch that you can't scratch.
Oh.
That's how
Yeah,
I
I
feel
don't
like it would
like
feel.
that.
Yeah.
Well, so like follow-up question. When you're nursing, does it shoot out in like 4 different directions, like a spout?
Probably. I don't know. I've never had a baby.
I was really hoping you were more informed on this because the entire basis of this was about like your nipple being like a garden hose, like one of those
Probably.
little like spinny ones, that kids go around and play around in.
I don't know. I'll have a baby in 9 months. Let you know how it goes.
You're really bad at doing the dabs. I gotta stop. Anyways, let's talk about Call Me by Your Name
Okay.
because you said it was the bad man.
Yeah. So I watched
Talk to
it
me
last
about
night and I fell asleep like 3/4 of the way in, and
Wait, so you fell asleep during that?
3/4 of the way in, I was almost done with it.
Oh, okay.
And so honestly, I've been wanting to watch it for a really long time, and and it was free, so I was like, okay, bet, I'm a broke bitch, let's go.
Starring Timothee
Chalamet. Chalamet. And then there's another guy in there that I have something to say about as well. But first, I'm going to talk about the movie.
Okay.
The movie, it was very slow. I love the cinematography. It was like the lighting in the movie was amazing. It was just really well shot. That guy's a dick.
What?
Right there.
Why?
I don't know.
Why are you saying
he's
that?
not. I don't know. Well, he's in the fucking carpool lane. He doesn't have fucking 2 people in there. Damn it. Fuck. I'm getting
Goddamn
mad.
libertarians.
Sorry, I'm getting mad for you. Anyways, resuming to thing. This is the perks of having a podcast while you drive, is that
Yeah.
you get to hear the shit talk.
Yeah, all the road rage. Yeah, that's great.
Yes. Anyways, cinematography is great. It was very slow, which I don't mind a slow movie if it actually gets somewhere. But honestly, there was no real build-up, I feel like, and it was so overhyped because I've heard so much about this movie.
Well, it's Timothee Chalamet. Everything that he does is like...
This was what got him up
Overhyped.
there, though.
Really?
This is
was
the
it?
movie. Yeah.
I thought it was Dune.
Or it was like this one was one of his main ones that
Oh, okay,
shot him
okay.
up. So probably both of them.
That makes sense, yeah.
But this one's 2019, I think, came out.
Okay, so this was before. All right.
Yeah, so it was his really big push, I guess. And I was just really, I don't know, I expected a lot more and a little, it is sensual, but I thought it was going to be a little bit more. I was hoping to see some butt stuff, but
You were hoping to see some butt stuff.
yeah.
Squeak to that.
No. Anyway.
We'll just leave that there, yeah. No, so I think Timothee Chalamet is super overhyped. That
Yeah.
might just be me.
Yeah. He's handsome, but he's a little overhyped. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
But can I tell you about the guy that plays his love interest in Call Me By Your Name?
Sure.
He just got called out for being a cannibalist.
What the fuck? Like, how are we talking about? Like drinking blood here, or like killing someone by taking out their like?
He locked his girlfriend in a basement and was planning to eat her.
Oh, that's crazy. He's
and he got
like
arrested for it, I think.
what's the one guy that was like friends with Kanye? That Kanye put on his album. What's his name? The guy that was on jail with the baby and
I don't know.
the other guy. What's his name? Oh, that's gonna piss me off. Anyway, same sort of abuse. Holy shit, he ate her though?
No, he didn't.
Ate her whole, ate her bones, mined
I
them
think
for
he
a
was
good coin.
He was planning to. I don't know if I think he may have ate somebody. I don't know.
Jamie, let's get a fact check.
For real, damn. Pull it up, Jamie.
I was referencing you.
Oh.
Dumbass. You are my Jamie.
I thought Gabe was your Jamie.
No, Gabe is not here.
True. Is that just a common thing everybody says because of Joe Rogan?
Yeah, just because of
Funny.
Joan
Pull it up, Jamie.
Roban.
John Ray Bands.
John
Road Rage.
Dude, he looks like such a fucking chode dick.
What am I
Anyways,
looking up?
let's
Oh.
not talk about that.
This might take a little second.
No, you're good. I'll fill. What's the? I'm stuck on this whole guy that hangs out with Kanye that also did the same thing. It's going to piss me off. All of you guys are going to be mad at me too.
Explain.
Look up that next. It's a guy that was on Kanye West's album with like vocal performances. He's like super like emo rock, but like back in like the 80s, 90s. Oh, it's gonna make me so mad. Marilyn Manson.
Oh,
God,
shit.
it took me so long to get to that. Yeah,
What the
Marilyn
fuck?
Manson. Yeah, all of his abuse cases, sexual abuse.
Yeah, he had him on his
Sexual harassment.
album.
Yeah, because it was a whole part of Kanye's whole thing of like redeeming the people that like have done bad things.
What the fuck?
I swore we've talked about this before, but yeah, no. So Kanye's West Donda was this whole thing where he tried to turn it into like, yeah, he'd have like people that have like really fucked up, and rather than like them coming out and saying like I'm sorry, beyond this whole thing of like, oh, like cancel culture can't stop us.
What the fuck?
That was like a big theme of like Donda that he tried to like put in there, but it didn't fit, and it just made it feel so weird. A better person that did that recently is Kendrick Lamar with his album. I imagine you haven't heard of it because you don't like hip hop and rap, but he put Kodak
You
Black
say I
on his
don't
album.
like hip hop and rap.
Okay, but
I don't
do you like Kendrick?
Yeah, I like them. I'm not going out of my way to
Exactly. That's more what I was getting at. You don't.
keep up.
Yeah,
I don't
you
keep
weren't
up.
gonna like read like the breakdown of his album and what everything means.
Right.
But no, so he had this great album. I'll actually probably play you a song later. And it's gotten into a little bit of controversy because highlighted throughout the album, in at least I think 3 tracks, is Kodak Black. What do you think you heard that he went to like prison and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think those charges were for? I'm trying to prove a point here.
Kodak Black.
Yeah. What is in your mind? What do you think it was? Because everyone kind of has a similar answer.
Well, I don't know too much about Kodak Black.
Okay, well, so there was like a lot of like gun charges and stuff, but one of the
I
things,
assumed.
one of the big things that he got in trouble for was there was this allegation, and I think he pled guilty to it, of sexually abusing a minor in a hotel room.
What?
Right? Not a lot of people know that, and he's still a very prominent person, like in the hip hop industry at least, right?
Huh.
And that isn't talked about a lot. So Kendrick Lamar ties in these themes of black people being sexually abused in the past and how that can relate to this trauma going forward in people's lives. It's actually really interesting how he does it. But anyways, he incorporated Kodak on the album to kind of drive home this point of like there are people like rap, especially like black rappers, that constantly struggle with this trauma and shit. So it was much better done than Kanye did. Anyways, that's all I'm saying though. Timothee Chalamet's sexual partner in the movie or in real life?
That's a gopher.
Is that a gopher or a squirrel?
I don't know.
That's not gopher.
Look, there's 2 of them.
Yeah, they're both posted, bro.
Sorry, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, so it was his love interest in the movie. And yeah, it sounds like he likes to cut toes off and stuff.
Oh, jeez. It's like psychological torture,
He said beat
too.
her feet with a riding crop and committed other acts of violence without her consent.
Oh, so it's a consent thing? Because
no,
like
he
beating...
didn't. No, it says without consent.
Yeah, so it's like a consent thing. So it was like not okay. Because like beating her
Beat
feet with
her
a
head against the wall.
Yeah, no, that's just straight up domestic violence. Like, that's domestic violence. The feet thing I could see as maybe like being incorporated in bed, and maybe he like sexually abused her in bed, right? But beating her fucking head into a wall is just fucking abuse.
Maybe like
that's
lick
horrible.
the blood off the walls and shit.
Oh, Jesus. Dude, people that are famous are fucking freaks.
Freak bitches.
Yeah. Well, so the reason why I have a big thing against Timothee Chalamet is the fan cams on TikTok.
I love his edits. It's the only reason why I like him.
Oh, it pisses me off so much. It's like what they did with Johnny Depp in this trial, which I really wanted to talk about, but it doesn't end until Friday.
Shit.
And so I was like, okay, we can talk about it on the next step.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get like all the information. We'll talk about Johnny Depp though, guys. We're not blowing it off. A bunch of people were mad that me and didn't talk about it last time.
Shit. Yeah, well, it's a very crazy subject and very popular.
He's not going to win the case, but he's definitely redeemed. I don't think there's enough evidence to like win him $50 million. That's my.
He's not doing it for the money though.
Oh no, he is. I mean,
What?
he's also doing it. Well, so there's 2 reasons he's doing it. It's like the money, but he's also just trying to clear his name, which he has done really well.
Yeah.
He will now be hired as acting roles. Maybe not like Pirates of the Caribbean again.
Caribbean?
Sorry, Caribbean.
I watched that the other Caribbean.
Are you about to talk shit on Pirates?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean. Okay.
No, go ahead.
He raised his hand at me.
It's my Johnny.
Come on, Aunt Army Hammer.
Would you not like Pirates? What's going on here?
I watched a second of it, and then the person I was with said, "You gotta be high as a fuck to be watching this shit because it's terrible."
Is it one of the new ones?
No, but
the OG3?
I forgot which we watched it for a second, and it was just like it was a little.
Wait,
funny.
who?
What do you mean who?
Who are you watching it with? I want to know who I need to kill.
Okay, never mind. I won't mention. Yeah. Well, then, yeah. It was just for a second, but I need to watch it from the beginning. You know what I really liked? The Lego video game of the Pirates Caribbean on PS. So fun.
Dude, the Lego games were so much fun
They're
growing
so
up.
good.
Really fun.
So good. So good.
Yeah,
so
I think
good.
it was. I played that one. I was really big into the Lord of the Rings one. All the superhero ones were fire. Me and editor Gabe actually back in the day, we played I think it was like the Marvel one, right,
Mm-hmm.
where it had all the superheroes, and what we did was we 100% the game, right, and then what you could do was you could like get their like vehicles and stuff, and it was like an open world city like GTA, and you had like a little mini map, and so what we'd do is we'd play cops and robbers. Okay. Fucking bitch.
Ooh, don't. That was so
I just
unnecessary.
accelerated fast.
I know, that was so dramatic.
Anyways, we'd play like cops and robbers, and we'd have to like chase each other down through the city. That was like one of those moments where it's just like, yeah, this is so much fucking fun.
No.
The memories of Gabe. Anyways, me and Gabe had to deal with some bullshit.
What happened? What happened?
Fucking TikTok.
Tell more.
So we tried promoting on TikTok, like the pod, and we did little clips. By the way, blew up pretty well, but we had this strategy to make multiple accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So we made like 8 accounts, all with the same name, but like variations of like numbers at the end. And then we posted the exact same 3 clips, so that way they had a better chance of hitting it off an algorithm. Very common technique. I've heard it been used before. We go and we do this, and 5 of the accounts get fucking taken down.
Well, it does make sense.
Well, does it?
Yeah.
So we're still trying to figure this out. I don't think it does. We couldn't find anything that says like you can't do this unless you're impersonating someone else, but we are the person.
Yeah.
So now we're just real confused.
Yeah.
We're mad at TikTok.
Cancel TikTok. Fuck TikTok.
Fuck TikTok.
Damn, that sucks. Well, at least you have 2 of the accounts or 1 of them.
We have 3 of them still.
That's good.
And they're doing actually really well. But yeah, we have a TikTok account. Don't try to find us yet. We're going to end up making it just one that pops off. And then we'll just post on that one. We'll tell you guys to go follow that. But that'll be our little clips channel for the show.
Animations coming out soon.
Yeah, we are going to be having a few animations on TikTok too. Where we got in touch with a animation crew that's going to be working on making little shorts for us. So, I don't know. Exciting things.
Fun and fresh.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, other pop culture news. I wanted to talk to you about the YSL case. Okay. Do you know what's going on with that at all? Okay, so YSL is a group. It's a record label that is right now indicted on a RICO case. Do you know what a RICO case is?
No.
It's racketeering, and then I don't know the others. Racketeering, so I don't know what the I is, but conspiracy to commit crimes. So essentially it's like what gangs will get charged under.
Uh-huh.
It's taking down a criminal enterprise, quote unquote. A lot of the times RICO cases are used just to take out a large group of people and jail them. So they're not typically good and they don't really work to stop crime. But essentially they're taking YSL, which is Young Thug, Gunna, Lil Baby has been a part of it as well. But right now the two people that are in prison are Young Thug and Gunna.
Damn.
And their court date was just set, or I think Gunna's was set for January of next year. And he was denied bail. So I think he has to stay in prison until then.
So what happened?
So they are attempting to use a bunch of different... They're trying to tie them to a string of murders, which may or may not have been their gang. I'm not too sure. They have had beef with... Because they are gang-like, I will say.
Yeah.
And I will say it is probably likely that Young Thug probably has gotten people killed and like sent people out to kill for him. Mm. That is likely. However, I don't think it's as deep as they're trying to make it. They're trying to spin it that they're this massive, like the Bloods, right? Mm-hmm. And they're trying to get them all indicted. So I think right now they have 23 names or something like that they're all tying into this case just for being associated with YSL. And they're using his rap lyrics against him. Like lyrics where he said he's killed people and stuff like that, and using that to that's at least a strategy.
That's not a reasonable thing.
Well, no, it's not. And then also, that's where you have to roll into account the First Amendment right, or the first constitutional right, which is freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Right? You should be allowed to say anything whenever you want and not have it be held against you. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So it's this really big thing, and I don't know how it's going to play out, but it's not looking good at all.
Speaking of the freedom of speech thing, I was just watching a podcast.
First of all, my freedom of speech says that fucking rat tail is nasty.
That was nasty.
That's really gross.
But I was just watching a podcast with Moist Critical.
And, oh yeah, Charlie Moist Critical.
And with a guy that used to play on RuneScape. And he was young, and he was saying that he was gonna commit all these, he was gonna shoot up his I think it was an accident. It was
the way you're phrasing this is not good.
No, you
probably just made an edgy joke.
He was making a lot of edgy jokes, and he would always just say he was kidding because these
shock humor was big back then. Yeah, early 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but it was very clearly a joke, and throughout the chats and stuff, there was things of him just saying oh, I'm fucking with you, I'm just kidding, and he was, and he went to jail for 10 years plus.
Oh my God!
He got out recently.
Wait, just for saying that shit?
Just for saying that, and they
that's crazy.
They fucked him over because they had proof. I guess he had a shitty lawyer because they had proof that he was saying, just kidding, and it was just for that. He made no threats. He
Did he have guns?
No, he didn't have guns.
That's crazy that they could lock him up.
He
Holy
was like
shit.
15 or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, and the story is fucking crazy. I'm butchering it, but it's so fucked up because that guy is so innocent, and they just wanted to, because it was around the time where they were saying that the reason why kids are violent is because of video games and stuff.
Yeah.
So they wanted to like make it a point and put someone as a poster child for this kind of stuff, but he was not guilty whatsoever.
That's insane. I mean, so with like the whole freedom of speech thing, like you can't, the second we start using rap lyrics as evidence is like the second we're just like giving up like this right to like say what we want. Because especially with like rapping about those different things has been like a creative measure. It isn't like a fucking indictment. What you're saying does not have to be your reality. It's like doing this podcast. We obviously, whenever there's an alleged story, we have to say that so it can't be used against us. But especially in like rap is music. That's a part of art. You know, it's creative form. Just because you draw like a visceral painting of like a grim reality doesn't mean that should be used against you as like someone like a murderer, you know?
Right.
That's crazy though.
Right. Because you can interpret it as they've seen this or they're actually doing that, if that makes sense. And obviously so many people lie about the things that they've been through when they make music. Yeah. And that's just beyond me.
Literally any artist nowadays.
Yeah. True.
We'll say anything on a song. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about mushrooms. We're getting close to one of my favorite places. Gabe, censor this.
Zad.
So it's a church in an area that I'm not going to say. You guys, it is in like the Oakland, Berkeley area, but I'm not going to tell you where specifically. But it is a very cool church. It's like set up on the inside. I just went into it recently. And on the inside, they sell mushrooms because they're illegal in this area. Or at least a sale of them. And they go by the guise of a church. And I always thought it was so cool that...
That's so cool.
You know, it's like really sick. Anyway, so one time, one of my first mushroom experiences that I definitely didn't have without you was we got them from here and then we went over to our buddy's house. Again, another censor for Gabe. We went over to his place and we were playing Rocket League and I had this experience where we just like journaled and shit.
Oh, cool.
And like I was like able to like write down all these thoughts. But anyways, for any of my young psychedelic users out there that have not tried it yet, I highly recommend that you put on any sort of dystopian movie with fancy colors. Euphoria is great, like cinematography like Euphoria, I should say. That sort of shit goes brazy on psychedelics. It just is everything for your eye sockets, and you just want to keep looking at it. And it is one of those things that was so visceral. It's like, you ever seen, me and we were just talking about this. Fuck, censor that as well, okay. Me and AJ were just talking about this. Avatar, you've seen the original one, right? The blue people?
Yeah, blue people.
So that movie, you don't think about it, but I had an ex that rewatched it with me, and it's totally like an insane psychedelic movie. And I've watched it on Molly.
Shit, I need to watch it again.
It's really pretty, and I mean it came out in 2009, right?
Mm-hmm.
For its time, the cinematography was amazing.
Right.
Because it's almost a complete CGI movie, and you can kind of tell, and it kind of looks a little bit dated now, but it's still just so pretty, and all the art styles in it, beautiful. Anyways, so I recommend, because this was a question that we got, psychedelics. Like, what would you do for your first time taking psychedelics? Like, what advice would you give someone that's trying for the first time?
Definitely. I mean, for me, I did it by myself the first time, but that goes person by person. I mean, just do whatever you feel like is going to be the most comfortable for you, because my second time I did it with people I didn't really know, and it was the most amazing acid experience I've ever had, but also the people were judging me. I knew that was happening, but it affects everybody differently. The fact that people were judging me, some people,
It throws off your vibe.
it didn't throw off my vibe.
Oh, it didn't.
No, and that's weird because I feel like it totally would because I'm very anxious and self-conscious. But I mean, honestly, I recommend doing it with somebody, one person at least, because for me, the best was doing it by myself, but I know that's definitely not the case for most people.
Yeah.
Because then what if you need something? I would say also microdose.
Yeah.
Definitely microdose your first time, and just you can take it maybe little microdoses every hour or something and see the buildup. That way you don't just go full force and you get lost in the sauce.
Okay, if given the choice, what would you... I mean, I have my answer. You haven't done shrooms yet.
Mm-hmm.
But if given the choice, would you tell them to take Molly, acid, or shrooms for the first time?
I would say, honestly, Molly and acid are the same intensity, but in different ways.
Yes.
Like, very much so. Very intense. They're both same intensity level, different. He's not asking.
Not going?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
So it just depends on what kind of person you are. I feel like Molly makes you, it's so different because I feel like if I were to explain how I feel on Molly, it's very different for how you feel.
That's true. Yeah, I roll really hard on Molly.
Yeah, well, yeah, me too. Usually, sometimes.
But you roll differently because mine is like, I get like grounded, where like I just sit and I have to listen to music and have AC on and I just sweat. I get a little bit gross, but like it's just such a good, overwhelming feeling.
Yeah.
It's just pure intensity. So my personal pick would go, I'm not a huge fan of acid. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially the last time I was like kind of on it, but not really. I made out with a girl that had a tab of acid on her tongue.
Ooh.
Right? This was at your place, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Allegedly, this happened. And I made out with her, and it kind of sent me into a little microdose of acid while I was on Molly, so I candy flipped.
Huh.
Not as fun as I wanted it to be, not gonna lie.
I forgot what happened that night.
Yeah, it was fun times.
Yeah.
With good people, fun times.
Yeah.
Good memes. But, yeah, no, if I was recommending this to anyone else, to answer your question, viewer, I would start on Molly, start on pure MDMA, I should preface. Pure MDMA, the crystal type, not the pill type. The pill type, me and Jazzy both know, very often pressed with like meth and that sort of shit. Mm-hmm. That isn't, like, in fentanyl, it's very risky unless you're like heavily testing your little Flintstone gummy looking fucking Molly. I would recommend just trying to find a good MDMA dealer. It's crystallized. You can take it in the capsule form. I don't recommend snorting it. It's not fun. It sounds good in theory. It burns. It just doesn't. It's bad for your nose. Just don't do that. Mm-hmm. But I recommend taking it in like bubbly water, like Pierre.
Yeah, definitely water is the way to go. Molly water.
Yeah, or like Pellegrino or some shit like that. And you just sip on it. And as you go along, you can kind of like measure how much you're taking. But yeah, start with Molly. If you like Molly, you'll love mushrooms. Because it's a little bit more on the visual aspect, but you get that same sort of warm feeling that you get off of Molly. Mm-hmm. It's really great. I definitely think that everyone in their lifetime should have some sort of psychedelic experience, whether it's as, low on the scale as like Molly compared to like mushrooms, It's just a feeling that everyone should feel.
Thanks.
But I did have one thing I want to talk about because I didn't do Molly for the first time until I was out of school. But you, allegedly back in the old day, there was a younger version of Jasmine who is out there and crazy, especially with when it came to drugas. So
to what?
To drugas, drugs.
Oh,
yeah. So why don't you tell us your story about back in high school?
Okay. Well, I decided to dabble into drugs. Sound like a documentary.
You sound like a video essay.
I started to dabble into things when I was like 14 or 15. The first time I did cocaine, I was
in the 3rd grade. I
thought that I was gay. I think I was either 14 or 15, and then somebody took a video of it and posted it, and I was on the cheerleading squad. And I ended up taking 6 lines at once.
Okay, embellish, bitch. You were on the bathroom floor.
No, that was not
that was a different time.
That was a
different... I'm sorry, I got mad.
I'm talking about the first...
I thought you were trying to downplay the fact that you were on the ground.
No, the first time I did it was at my house with a guy, and he videotaped it. And then he put, the song by Justin Bieber? He's like, got a white bitch sniffing on Bieber.
Oh, yeah.
He played that song in the background.
Maria, I'm Drunk. Great song, yeah.
Yeah. And so it was kind of a funny bit. But I did 6 lines because I didn't know. I was so anxious I couldn't feel the effects of it. And then it all hit me at once. But I played some Wii. Played some Wii after that.
Some Wii?
Yeah. Like Wii tennis and shit.
Love that.
And then... I was on a cheerleading squad for our high school, and ended up getting kicked off because of that video. And then my family found out.
This is all allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. Yeah, it was not. It was very tough.
Yeah, the time that I was talking about was when you fucking did it off of a history textbook in the women's bathroom at school. Yeah, allegedly.
I did that with my dear friend, and somebody filmed that from the bottom of the stall as well, because why wouldn't you?
That video got around.
That video did get around, and we got in trouble again. And then I also did I snorted Molly in the fucking locker room with said dear friend. And that's how I asked her out to homecoming, is I gave her a little bit of Molly on my planner.
I'm glad that we tried drugs before we got famous. Because, dear God, our lives would pan out a little bit differently.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I brought up this to talk about... So I have a brother who's 2 years younger than me. And he went to a different school. But do you remember seeing the TikTok challenge, A Devious Lick? Mm-hmm. So that was like going on in like schools where they would like be like, oh, I just hit the most devious lick, and they would have stolen something insane, right? Mm-hmm. Like their teachers like fucking chalk or some shit like that. And a lot of the times it was like pretty innocent, right? That's how the challenge started. Mm-hmm. But then it got fucking intense as hell, mm-hmm. to the point where they put on the little banner in front of the school where it has like the little like headline news for the school. They had like the devious lick challenge on there. It was like, do not do this, because at this school they were stealing sinks and toilets.
How the fuck do you even do that?
I have no idea, but they like shut down the bathrooms.
That's hard as fuck.
This was like an issue at this school, and I wish that we were in school for that, because I feel like that would have been so funny to partake in.
I feel like you so would have partaken in
that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, kids were expelled for like stealing toilets. Like, that's just insane.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, like what do you do with a toilet?
Yeah.
It's destruction of property.
Yeah, it's really fucked up, and it's really immature, and it sucks, but it's funny.
It's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny, but I don't support.
Yeah.
Kind.
Anyways, we'll wrap this up with saying that my most devious lick was handcuffing myself to the chair. Did I talk about that?
What a beautiful story. Do tell. I think everybody should hear the story.
That was my version of the devious lick challenge back in high school, where I had like, it was senior year, and I had a pretty like back and forth relationship with my teacher, because I was not supposed to be in that class for my age. I was just like way older, and it was just like a bunch of sophomores in my class. So I was like the older kid, and I would constantly just fuck around and try to get in trouble, while still maintaining a good grade in the class. It was great. Regardless, there was this one time where I wouldn't like shut up while there was a video playing. And so what I did was I stole I kept on like going back and forth with the teacher, and she told me that if I didn't shut up, she like paused the video, and it's like dark in the classroom, lights are off. She says, Jay, if you don't shut the hell up, I'm going to handcuff you. And I was like, what the what? And I just kind of like laugh it off, and then she holds up a pair of handcuffs, and I was like, no way. No way. So I had to test her, right? So I snuck up while the video was playing because her back was turned. And I stole the handcuffs out of her desk, and I handcuffed myself to the desk during that little bar that goes in between your chair backing and your seat. Mm-hmm. And anyways, I stole this, handcuffed myself to the desk, and then when the video was over, I stood up, and then I fell over and toppled with the desk. And that was my whole bit. I was just like, why the hell did you handcuff me? And everyone's like laughed, it was like a good little bit. And then she started to panic because she didn't have the key. So I ended up being stuck in handcuffs for about 2 hours of that day. The fire department had to come. Or was it
fucking funny?
There was a fire truck that pulled up, but the person that got me out was a police officer, and he had the same key. She had like fucking cop grade handcuffs in her desk.
It's fucking
and I just thought that was insane.
Why did she have those?
Exactly. That was a weirder part, and she did get in trouble for that, I think. And
she
then
did?
I felt bad.
What happened to her?
Well, she's still teaching. I just think she got reprimanded for having fucking handcuffs out of school, which is just weird.
That is weird.
It is just, a little kinky. Miss Young getting all freaky like.
Oh, freaking like.
Oh, Miss Young and your big young cow milkers producing 241 gallons of milk a day. I can't. Anyways, that's the end of this. We're done. We're wrapping it here. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
I'll see you. Next week will be AJ, and he's going to be recapping EDC. Should be a really fun episode, so tune in then. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Goodbye.